it's like if you play an instrument, yeah, and you play it, and you think, yeah, it sounds okay, you know, and then you put some volume behind it, and it sounds better. Then you put excessive volume behind it, it sounds crazy, you know, great.
When you listen to that, you know, it really freaks you out, you know, I mean, really enjoy it and forget about the rest of your troubles and that.
For a start, you got the best music in my opinion. Without a doubt, you got the best birds. Like, I mean, look at Earthly Soul, perfect, isn't it?
I never would have guessed that 80s metal fans were just British stereotypes personified. The more you know. What's crackin', Clutch Nation? And welcome to Rating Every Metal Album from 1982, where we're gonna rate every metal album from 1982. Yep, there's 59 of them, and it's only gonna go up as the series continues. I love this! 1982 was an excellent year in metal. I mean, we got some top-tier bangers, some top-tier classics, some top-tier deep cuts, some top-tier garbage! And that's why I'm not gonna waste your time any longer. We got a lot to get to, boys and girls, and if there actually is any boys and girls here, you might want to leave because, I might say a few naughty words along the way. So make sure you strap on that big purple sausage in the corner of your room, and get ready as we dive into every metal album released in 1982. I'm afraid it takes a little more than brass knuckles and the word brutal to make your album actually badass. Although if you're looking for metal the whole family can enjoy, Volume Brutale has got you covered. Tank feels like a street gang from the cobbles of England decided to throw up their arms and instead pick up guitars. And I must say, for 1982, this is pretty edgy. No! Diamond Head are the band that made Lightning to the Nations. What is this? What is this filth? The best tracks on here are just reused songs from the last album. To all Christian parents of the 1980s, if loving the number of the beast means I'm in love with Satan, well, hail Satan! I think what Blackout really proves is that the best Scorpions albums are the ones without weirdly sexual album covers. I mean, if there's one band that belongs in horny jail, it's definitely the Scorpions. Like, come on, guys. Man, this shit probably sounded outdated the day it released. This sounds like a 70s album, not an 80s album, and it sounds like a good 70s album, but look at the year. It's 1982. Get with the times, Nightwing. Man, is it just me? Or does Anvil just feel like a bootleg metal band? I mean, that doesn't even make sense, but it also does make sense. Someone give me the name of the asshole who thought it was a good idea to over-amplify Lemmy's beautiful, rough, coarse Motorhead voice. That's what makes the band, dumbasses. This could have been a 10. Good going, fellas. Have you ever heard of the phrase, beauty in simplicity? Between you and me, I don't think more has, because they had a good thing going on the first album. Simple, fun songs. Here, they overcomplicate that shit, and my ears are no longer having a good time, so I'm no longer having a good time. And that's just how you end up with a 4. Raven is what you get if the band Judas Priest did a little bit of heavier drugs than cocaine. Please note for legal reasons that statement had absolutely no jurisdiction on whether Raven or Judas Priest did any drugs at all. But it certainly implied. You know, Girls' School were actually pretty good when they were basically a woman Motorhead. Now, they're pretty much a woman Motley Crue, and the expected shift in quality is ever present. Oh, sorry guys, I guess I fell asleep. I was, well, last I checked I was listening to Wild Dogs by the Rods. How weird. Oh yeah, it's not weird, it's boring as shit! Man, Plug It In by Mama's Boys is about as basic as the blonde clique in those high school rom-com movies. Now, of course, this is kind of a good kind of basic as well, because a lot of people like those blondes as well. It's funny how that works. I can assure you that the music on offer here is better than the album art. But in the case of this album, is that really a compliment? After the disappointing last album, Judas Priest are back and better than ever. This statement applies to like 7 Judas Priest albums. But hey, I think it's particularly stronger in Screaming for Vengeance's case, because this album does kick absolute ass. Man, I would describe the instrumentals on Devil Soldier as legitness, as the kids would say. But the vocalist here has to go sounding like he's in the middle of a severe case of kidney stones. Like, I'm just trying to enjoy some metal here, man. Please stop moaning. First question I have for y'all. What is this cover? Is it a demonic abdomen? Is it a fly man with a giant ass tongue? I don't know. And honestly, I don't care, because this shit is the bomb. Gonna be honest, Death in the Nursery is pretty much as bland as Shreddies. And if you know what Shreddies taste like, you know they're probably the most bland substance in the universe. So this, in fact, is also the most bland substance in the universe alongside Shreddies. I don't know what this comparison is. Roll with it. By Manowar standards, there's not enough testosterone on offer here. But if we could look past that because it's their debut, we can realize this is a pretty good album. It just doesn't have the testosterone to live up to the Manowar name. Good going, guys. You finally made radio rock. It just cost you everything, didn't it? Because now I don't enjoy this music because it's not badass metal. Now this is some shitty radio rock. I hope you guys are happy. I can assure you this is the only time you're ever gonna catch me praising glam metal. But I think Twisted Sister are better when they're glam metal. Because they're heavy metal, cut the cord, guys, this ain't it. Another day, another album by Accept that has doggy doo-doo vocals. Yet, the instrumentals on offer here go so hard that I think they actually penetrate my ass as I'm listening. Good going, Accept, because this riffs. A Kiss album that's consistent in quality? I never thought I'd see this day where I could listen to a Kiss album and not think most of it was utter garbage aside from the singles. Bravo, Gene. I'll also take 2 Kiss-branded caskets as well, just so I can celebrate this victory in my grave. Everyone, pull a little closer. Yeah, to your screen. Yeah, I see you on the shitter right now. Yeah, pull a little closer. We've all wanted to be Vikings. We've all wanted to defend our tribe, our family, from the onslaught of a polar bear. Well, look at this album cover. That's the exact circumstance this album cover depicts, and the music here recreates that sensation in your ears. So what are you doing? Go and listen to this, you worthless pissant. Yes! Finally! Doom metal! Let's cheers our bongs to this occasion. Fellow Doomer, if you're in the audience, I hope you are, because I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. Not gonna lie, the singer for Y&T seems to have one mode, and that mode is, I'm singing for a hard rock band. Even if they're playing a heavy metal song, he still sounds like he's singing for a hard rock band, and it just doesn't fit sometimes. Okay, we're gonna do a little role play here, so keep with me. Okay, so we have a hostage, and the hostage is Plasmatics. And we have a captor, and the captor is pointing a gun at the band Plasmatics. Now, Plasmatics could save their lives if only they could write one captivating song. It's actually at the end of this roleplay that Plasmatics fatally all die because they can't write a captivating song to save their lives. It's ever so fitting that the album that probably inspired most of the black metal genre, hell, innovated the name, also innovated on black metal's trademark feature. That feature, of course, being the urine-infused production used on every black metal album from this point on. Good going, Venom. You're the reason why I can't hear my beautiful black metal in 4K. Fire Dance is like a weird drug-infused fever dream, where the Beach Boys were actually a metal band. Yeah, it wasn't a very fun fever dream either. It was as if this album were the sound of eternal virginity, cock-blocking my and your soul for all of time. Diamond Dreamer showcases a cheap imitation of Dio's vocals, Riot's grit, and Saxon's songwriting and tone. So may I politely ask you why the hell you are listening to this instead of those? Oh, this is absolutely mid-tastic! How many albums do we have left? Oh, for f***'s sake! So this album, I don't know how to pronounce, is actually made by this band I don't know how to pronounce. And anyhow, my favorite track is I don't know how to pronounce my favorite track either. But I can say out loud, this is an 8 out of 10. How's that sound? This band is like if Accept had some acceptable vocals. Oh, you guys, it wasn't that funny. Man, the sick-ass guitar tone is just leaving me sad and sorrowful that the songwriting here and the vocals here and everything else here aren't up to its standard because, immaculate guitar tone. Aw, damn. I really thought of all bands that were gonna make the album of the year, it would be my favorite band, Bitches Sin. Yes, that's a band that creates pinnacle, peak masterpieces in music. Definitely. Bitches Sin, guys. Those are the masters in metal. Like an angel ship arriving to pull me from a sea of mid. Obis once again saves the day and brings us some actually good metal in a sea of mid. Medic! 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 They're saying come to Brazil! We need to send them some foreign bands. They're local bands. Their local bands suck shit. We need to save them. They're saying come to Brazil. We need to send bands to Brazil now! Not to be that guy, but if it were me who mixed this, I would have done it a little differently. See, guitars would have turned up in the mix, you know, you'd hear the guitars more, and I might have accidentally turned the vocals all the way down in the mix. Just accidentally, but, you know, then that album wouldn't have any more shitty vocals, so, you know, it's a win-win, I guess. You know, well, I should hate this because, you know, mainstream metal is a cardinal sin. I gotta admit, it's catchy as hell, and I ain't gonna be the one to dunk on this. Now, when the title track comes on, I'm like, yeah. When the rest of the album comes on, I'm like, eh. So, you know, this album's low-key carried by its title track, but still, check it out. Wouldn't it be cool if someone combined boogie rock and metal? Yeah, I think we all agree it wouldn't. Vardis disagrees because they made that here on Quo Vardis. And guess what? It sucks about as much ass as you'd think it would. Firstly, the music here is fine. It's decent, it's acceptable metal. The more important question is, who was the creative genius who decided that Jason Voorhees should become a warrior sex gimp? What the hell is this cover? The only thrill to be found on the thrill of the kill is the thrill you'll get when it ends, because this is garbage. The thick and assertive accent is certainly jarring with the vocalist at first, but once you get used to it, I can assure you from experience, you will be swooning and submitting to his dominance. Oh, and the music's good too, I guess. I don't know, I'm more here for the voice. It's funny, because I was just listening to this album the other day, and I had some random thought that was like, I wonder if I have any Demon Lady viewers on the Clutch Nation channel, you know? And, you know, if they do exist, you know, just feel free to reach out. The music, great, too. No, it's not great. It's a little misogynistic, and, it's a little repetitive. It's actually not that good, but, you know, Demon Ladies, hi. My name's Clutch Bowers. I thought this was a really fun and energetic debut. But the person who didn't think that was the person who wrote the band's Spotify bio. For some reason, Fort Knox's Spotify bio just absolutely starts dissing itself in the band, calling them uncreative and uninspired and lackluster. Like, what kind of Spotify bio disses the thing it's meant to be biographying? I don't even know if that makes sense, but like, really? Okay, just hear me out. I can assure you that this band is better at writing music than it is at album titles, because Metal Rock has got to be the stupidest album title I have ever heard. Another album, another shitty vocalist. How many albums today have been ruined by shitty vocalists? Because it seems like that's the main problem for pretty much all metal bands at this time period, is that they can't find a competent singer. Listen, homie, you ain't my boy Chino Marino. You can't just moan over your music to make it any better. As a matter of fact, you made it a whole lot worse by moaning. You wouldn't even believe how happy I was to find that this album actually had good production for the time period. Then the problem came along with the fact that an album can't be carried by its production, and this music is infinitely mid. Therefore, the production was wasted on another talentless, average band. This is very amateur. There's no organization in the band. It doesn't sound cohesive at all. It just sounds like a bunch of guys just having a good old time rather than actually trying to release a competent album. I hope it was an enjoyable time at least, because I didn't enjoy listening to it. I've heard funeral doom metal more engaging than this album. This album is such a slog that I'd rather go listen to Sun O repeating the same 3 notes over a 26-minute interval. You know how batshit insane that is for me to long for that over this? I expected better, Archangel. Your debut was good. What the hell has become of you? You know, the songwriting here is actually pretty good, and it would turn into some pretty good music if 1, your vocalist wasn't a bargain bin David Gilmour impersonator, and 2, your guitar tone wasn't stank as hell. Like, I don't want to listen to this because the guitar is just filthy, and not in the engaging, fun, sludge metal way, in the, this sounds like ass way. Aw, rats! It appears I wasn't ready for the action, because this album just felt like my ears were inhaling shit for its entire duration. Alright, this actually has some good production, good start, and, oh, hey, the music here is pretty good as well. Genocide, where are you? I want you to take notes. Good production meets good music, good album. Oi! We got a couple rebel-rousing punks thinking they can just shift the sound to be metal. Let's shank these wankers, boys. What the hell is this? So that's a wrap. 1982, it was a pretty good year in my opinion. You know, it had a lot of classics, and I meant that in the intro. And it had a lot more albums than I expected. And that's partially why this video was late. Also late because I got a new job, but it's mainly because I didn't expect this many albums. I'm already getting to work on 1983's video for obvious reasons, because there's going to be even more there, and it's just going to go up, and these videos are just going to take longer, but I'm still going to try and get them out at a reasonable amount of time, while still filling in the gaps with, like, more fun, entertaining, different kind of videos, you know? Also, just to make the air clear, the reason I sound like a pissant right now is because I got a slight cold. So, I'm sorry I'm so nasally for this video, for half of it at least, because half of it was filmed when I was a normal human being, but, you know, I hope you understand. Anyhow, I'm done with the sentimentality, or however you call it. We're moving on. The video's over. Screw off. And, here's a little Clutch Powers kiss for ya. Mwah!